In this video, we will look at how to create a GTM plan using the GTM Vantage tool. On the home screen of the GTM Vantage tool, I will select Create GTM Strategy. It will open up the Business Details screen. Now I'm in the Business Details section or screen. Here I have many subsections. So let's start with the basic information. Here I will put the GTM plan's name and description. Then I'll put the company name and company website. So my plan is to help my company expand to US and India. My company's name is Advanced Signer and my company's website is as given below. Now I will put in the product details. In my case, the product name is Advanced Signer app. For the product description, my product is a comprehensive digital signature and document security solution. It provides several key features like the complete e-signing solution, which supports USB tokens and smart cards. So I'll put all such relevant details like its uniqueness, what problem it is solving, who it is meant for, etc. in this text box. Next, I'll go to target geographies. Herein, I will enter the geographies I wish to expand into. So let's say I want to expand to US and India. Then, in the target industry section, I am entering the most relevant industries that my product is applicable for. In my case, it is BFSI and legal services. Then I'll scroll down to the segment definition section. By default, the GTM Vantage tool gives the broad definitions of enterprise, mid-market, and SME segments by revenues. So I can use these definitions or I can override them with my own understanding. But these definitions are usually the market standards, so I can keep them as is in my case. In the goal setting section below, I will enter the year by which I want to achieve my goal and then what the goals are. So in my case, I want to achieve by 2028 a revenue of 1 million US dollars with 250 customers and an EBIT percentage of 15. Once I've entered all this information, I will click on Save and Next. Screen. This is where the magic starts to happen. This is the market attractive analysis section. In this section, the product for each product geography combo that I had selected in the previous screen, in this instance, Advanced Scanner app for US markets, we'll take that. When I click on the autofill using AI agent button, the AI agent in the backend will analyze the market trends, the social, political, and economic factors of that area, and come back with market attractiveness across the industry segments that I had chosen previously. So for the BFSI and legal services industries, the enterprise segment looks quite attractive in the mid-market segment, while BFSI is again attractive. However, for legal services, it is neutrally attractive. While for the legal services, SME segment has low attractiveness, the other segments look better. This is all done by just clicking on autofill using AI consultant. Once you have this analysis displayed to you, the AI agent or LLM also gives out the rationale behind why it considers some geography industry segments as attractive and why some are not. It will do for both the US and Indian markets or any other markets that you have chosen. Also, we have provided a button called Discuss with Human Consultant. When you click on this button, you can submit your query or schedule a time with our experts through the team. Once I have done this, I can move on to the next screen. Define competitors. In this screen, we enter the competitors' names for each of the markets that I'm planning to expand into. So for the US market, I have Adobe and DocuSign. I enter the URLs and any other competition details. I click on save and next and enter similarly for the Indian markets. So when I click on save and next on the comparator screen, I come to this screen called the competitive landscape screen. As you can see, for each of the product geography combos, I have a set of attributes predefined. This has been predefined by the GTM Vantage tool. I can add or subtract attributes based on my product's relevance. For each of these attributes, there is a scale of 1 through 10 that I'll score my product for, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest. Once I've scored my product, for looking at my competitors and scoring my competitors, I will use the AI consultant. So when I click on autofill using AI consultant, the AI agent will scourge all the publicly available information about them, analyze it, and come back by scoring them on the same scale of 1 through 10. So let's do this. So, for example, you see Adobe and DocuSign rank very high on brand and trust because they are old established brands. Similarly for reliability as well. However, you can see that on cost, both of them score lower as they are quite costly to use. Once you've done this, once you've gotten these scores for the US market, you can move on to the Indian market. And you can see and do the same process for your own product and use the AI assistant for the competitors in a similar manner. So once I've done that, I will click on save and next and move to the next section. Customer value map section. It is the product market fit analysis section. It is based on the attributes that the customer values the most. So when I click on autofill using AI consultant, it will color some of the bubbles and leave some uncolored. As you can see here, the colored bubbles that you see are the attributes that the customers in that segment value. And the uncolored or white bubbles are the attributes that are not very relevant for the customer. So for example, brand is valued highly by the enterprise customers, and so is the case with mid-market and SME segments. For a product similar to yours, all the 3 customer segments perceive you lower because it is colored in red. It must be because you are relatively new and the competition that you have is quite old and established. So once you see all these bubbles, you can click on save and next to move on to the next geography. And you can see a similar analysis has happened there as well. Recommended market segment section. In this section, the GTM Vantage tool gives a final recommendation regarding the suitability of your product for different industries and customer segment. It bases its recommendation on the 3 analyses it has done previously: market attractiveness, competitive landscape, and customer preferences. As you can see here, for my advanced signer app in the US market, the mid-market segment of BFSI industry looks good. However, the other segments across the both industries are not recommended by the tool. I can see similarly that in the Indian market, the enterprise segments for both BFSI and legal services are highly recommended to reach out to. And similarly, the mid-market segments also look good. However, the SME segments do not look very promising for both of these industries. Next, it will move me to the next and final section of GTM plan. In this screen, for each of my product geography combos, when I click on the AI button or the autofill using AI consultant button, it will push out the product's value proposition and the ideal customer profile. Let's do this. You can see in the product profile value proposition section, it tells you the product's main value proposition, which is based on the analysis it has done on market attractiveness, competition, and customer perception. Down below, it also gives you the ideal customer profile for your product geography combo. This is based not only on the demographic factors but also on the firmographic and psychographic factors, all taken into account. Similarly, you can do the same thing for the India market in this case. So now you can see that you have a very comprehensive GTM playbook created for yourself, which tells you what your position is, how do you pitch it to your target profile, and so on and so forth. As you can understand, this has been done with all the data that you could have parsed through the publicly available information in a fraction of the time taken to manually research and analyze. So the GTM playbook is ready and we are good to go for the next part. Thank you.